Welcome to BFP Night in North America. We are here for the BFP iLate Model Racing Series taking on Southern National Motorsports Park in North Carolina. We're doing it virtually from our living rooms and basements. But we are excited to bring you all the action tonight. My name is Spencer Morse, and I am with a guy that raced one time in North Carolina, even though he was supposed to do it twice. The one, the only for now, Charlie Sanborn, I.
Hey, thank you, Spencer. That was a time down in North Carolina. We got in the old Easter Bunny 148 there back in 2020. No, we're happy to be back here for round number 2 of the iLate Model Stock Car Tour for Black Flag Podcast. And this week we have a 3-man booth joined up here in the top right corner of my screen anyway. That's going to be the announcer of Speedway 660 up in Canada. And I'll let him introduce himself. How goes it, Jesse?
Great to be here, guys. Great to be here at the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park here tonight. Of course, BFP Night in America. Glad to be here and ready to see some great late model stock racing.
Absolutely. Looks like we're getting gridded up for the first heat race of the night. The top 10 qualified in, and everybody else has got to go to heat races and hopefully not a last chance race. John Miller going to start on the pole, Luke Brown second. Sean Kimball is going to roll off third with Jeffrey Fernandez in fourth. Matthew Perry's going to roll off fifth, and Aiden B. Murray, a guy that was very strong here, going to roll off from the sixth spot. The 7 car is Kerry Craner. Or the 7th spot goes to Karen Craner. Alex Ettman is going to roll off 8th. Gabriel Goli rolls off 9th. Roger Saucier, Trevor Graffam, Thomas Johnson, Stephen Piero, Benjamin Mazer, Lucas Hinkley, an ACT late model racing superstar. This is going to be back in the field. Daniel Palin, Daniel Rigleben, Randy Cole Jr. are going to round out your 18-car field for this heat race number 1.
Yeah, we have a stacked field here yet again here for the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Tour. A little pet project of mine here. I'm Charlie Sanborn here, 1/3 of the Black Flag Podcast, where you can find us on all things social media. Getting ready for our hockey game here on Saturday, but right now we're about to go green flag racing, heat racing style here for heat race number 1, as the numbers 6 and 12 are going to hit the loud pedal coming up off of 4, and we got a big one already.
John Miller into the fence on the front stretch. Everybody is involved, just about. 4, 5, 6 cars maybe make it through. Big action on the front stretch as they go green.
That was wild coming off turn number 4. Sorry, Charlie. Coming to the green flag. Looks like the 6 car maybe tried to jump to the outside. Might have been comfortable in an outside groove, but just got on the gas a little early and chaos ensued.
Seemed to be a little bit of a weird move there, seeing as how this week it's a little bit different than last week, where last week we had 2 heat races taking only 4 cars in 20-car fields, and this week we broke it down a little bit more, only taking the 10 in 2 single-car qualifying, and then getting 3 heat races that take 6. So to have a wreck, not even going into turn 1, that was on lap 100 feet, basically, before we had a big one, Spencer.
Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. And the problem is, or the thing is here in these heat races, we're very lax with the caution. So that has allowed Sean Kimball in the 25 car to just shoot out with the big lead. And Matthew Perry's running second. How many are we taking in this whole deal, Charlie?
So what we're going to do is, after taking the 10 from qualifying, we're taking 6 from each heat race. And right now we got, like you said, Sean Kimball, Matthew Perry duking it out for the top 2. But if we file back into the bubble area here, Aiden Murray is on the bubble spot in the 6th position with Benjamin Mazer trying to hunt him down to make it into the show and not have a long day going through the LCQ.
Yeah, Aiden Murray, he's a veteran here of the iRacing late model Black Flag podcast series. He had a great run here last week, and look to see more of that as he's sneaking up on the 55 car here.
You see a battle here coming up here for, I believe, the 5th spot now, as the 55 is getting a little bit out of the way of the 72 machine of Aiden Murray. Like you said, he's still in that bubble position in 6, but here comes Ben Mazer in the 32, I believe, or maybe it's the 55. I don't know. People got trading paints all over this place. And Jesse, that's not a problem you really have up in Canada, is it?
No, not too much of a problem up here. You know, we love racing up here in the Northeast and the snowy Atlantic provinces here. We're seeing some great racing here tonight at Southern National in Kenly, North Carolina. Great battle here. Murray in the 72 car, I believe, working to the inside of the 4. The laps continue to click off here. A little bit of 3 wide there as the driver comes back out onto the racetrack, but they'll continue side by side working for that position.
Yeah, back up front again, battle for the lead. Sean Kimball, Matthew Perry starting to walk away with this one as Kimball now has about a 1 second lead over Perry in the 19 machine. But as we go back to the screen here, battle for the bubble position, the 72 of Aiden Murray trying to hold off Benjamin Mazer now as he gets around Roger Saucier.
Yeah, Aiden Murray, like we said, he was fast. I mean, he's been fast all the way through. We did a thing at the Auburn Mall where we had iRacing simulators, and he was top of the charts. Keep an eye on him if he can make his way in through this heat race number 1.
Bumble position now going back to Roger Saucier in the 6 machine, or in the 32 machine in the 6 spot. Sorry, trying to hold off Benjamin Mazer now. Again, I don't know how you guys do it up in the north there, Jesse, but we're having some good old-fashioned heat races right now, trying to transfer through to the main, and I don't know how many LCQs you have up there, but that makes for a pretty long day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, making a little wild there, Murray. He dropped down to the inside of that 58 car. Everybody wound up here. Looks like we've got the end of this one. Great battles there in heat race number 1.
Having 15-lap heat races here. So again, Sean Kimball going to take home the victory in the heat race number 1. Following behind him, I believe we're going to have Oh man, my screen is all screwed up, Spencer. I don't know if you can see who's transferring.
Perry in the 19 in 2nd. Jeffrey Fernandez in the 26 is going to transfer in 3rd. Kerry Craner in the 58, 4th, and the 72, Aiden B. Murray going to transfer in those top 5 spots. The rest of them going to the last chance race.
Yeah, and shout out to our Facebook watchers here. We're upwards of in the high 60s, almost 69. Nice. Getting up into the 70 region here, and now we're going to roll off heat race number 2.
Johnny Peters is going to start on the pole in that beautiful number 09. Brian Conover is going to start to his outside. Jack Ellie in the 17 will roll off 3rd. Kyle Willis in the 53. Kyle Willis in the 53 is going to roll 4th. Tyler Griffin in the 29, 5th. Dylan D. Thomas, Glenn Giles, TJ Moon, the Bandolero racer, Ty Curran, Josh Hodgson, Joshua Gardner, Jesse
Jacobitis.
Jacobitis. Thank you, Charlie. Jason Dioro, Tyler Learman, Joe Campbell, Matt Franson, and the Brant Young is going to round out the field.
Brant Young, very new to this whole iRacing deal here. He was my old college roommate, and I told him, hop in, see what happens. But up front, you're going to have Johnny Peters in the throwback 09 machine to his late father, Greg, where you'll see the GNG's gifts on the quarter panel. Taking the green flag, loud pedal down, and they are going to head off into turn 1.
Johnny Peters gets the early advantage as now they work down the backstretch. Brian Conover working hard on that outside. And Jesse, good battle here through the top front of the field.
Yeah, the 97 car started on the outside of the front row. Sticking to the outside groove here early in heat race number 2. He'll go side by side. We got one around in the back. Hopefully that driver's going to keep on going. They will continue to race side by side. Almost some 3 wide action just in behind them as we get around the transfer positions.
Johnny Peters checking out here up front as he's going to lead over Jack Eli in transfer position now under battle between Dylan Thomas and Glenn Giles. They're going to go side by side, door handle to door handle down the backstretch here, fighting for a transfer spot.
Yeah, and it looks like the outside group is not where you want to be. Brian Conover continues his fall throughout the field as he's working hard on that outside, but Kyle Willis in that 53 going to work hard on the bottom and try to sneak his way onto Conover. The door is shut.
Conover slams the door and takes the position. Maybe the green on the race car, a little bit of bad luck. Don't tell Bobby Timmons that, but that 97 car now, he will try to work his way back forward. The door gets slammed on him just ahead of him in the 29 car. And Conover just looking to make up another position because that could be a couple of spots when it comes time to line up for the feature.
Hey, you can't be crapping on green race cars too awful much. Our good pal here, Spencer Morris, can attest that they've given me some good luck over the years. But right now, Brian Conover just hanging on to the 4th position over Kyle Willis. Transfer spot still under siege between Dylan Thomas and Jesse Jacobitis, as you'll see them still all under a blanket up off of turn number 4.
4 cars, like you say, under a blanket. Brian Conover working on the inside. Kyle Willis making it work on the bottom, and it's mayhem for that final transfer spot right now.
Yeah, we're coming up on lap 10 here. 5 laps to go for leader Johnny Peters in the 09 machine. He's got about a 7/10 advantage over Jack Eli, who they do both have a 2.5-second lead over Tyler Griffin in the 3rd spot.
Charlie, are we going to see what we saw here last time where the leaders wrecked themselves out of qualified spot, or you think you think these guys are going to play it safe a little bit?
Last week we did have some shenanigans there between a lot of people who are already in transfer spots, especially if you go back on our YouTube channel there, just look up Black Flag Podcast on YouTube. You'll see one heck of an LCQ race that we saw there between Tyler Lerman and Preston DeMello, and they put on one heck of a show, as these drivers are here in heat race number 2, which is a good cleanup from heat race number 1.
Jesse J back there is working the outside. Oh, boy. Bigger wreck him up. Stack him up. Brian Conover. Is this race over?
2 to go.
2 to go. Big stack up. Big change here in the front running.
Yeah, up front, Johnny Peters still trying to hang on to it as he extends his lead over Jack Eli. He's going to come up off of turn number 4 here and take the checkered flag on lap 15 of heat race number 2. Again, we're taking 6 here, which it looks as though it's going to be Johnny Peters, Jack Eli, Kyle Willis, Jesse Jacobitis, Ty Kernan, and Tyler Griffin going to round out our last transfer spot in heat race number 2 here as the boys cross the black and white squares to transfer into the main.
And we should say you're a lot of fans tuned in at home. If you don't see your favorite driver in one of these heat races, they may have already transferred through in time trials just before we rolled off with heat races.
That's a heck of a point, Jesse. Again, we took 10 originally from single car qualifying here to lock into the show. They get to advance all the way to the 100-lap main event here at Southern National Motorsports Park. And then from there, that then set the lineups for what you're watching right now, our heat races, where we already have 6 from each heat race. So our field now has grown to 22 cars, where we're going to take another 6 from heat race number 3, Spencer.
Yeah, absolutely. And heartbreaker for Brian Conover in that one. Absolutely brutal. Charlie, you want to give us the full field rundown here for heat race and number 3?
Oh, if I can read this right, I believe on the poll for this one's going to be the 27 of Ryan Kuhn. No, wait, am I?
Oh, my God. No, absolutely not. I'll take over.
Yeah, you got it. My screen is so screwed up. I don't know how to read it.
Justin Galoo in the 43 to the outside. Tyler Jordan, Sean Boudreau, AJ Bernies, Cody Billings, Scott Dinnan, our race director admin here, Angel Girucci, Daniel Kane, Ethan Walker, David Bergman, Chase Rogers, Jason Townsend, Derek McKean, and Dan DeSantos. Tyler Conley, Matthew Brewer going to round out your 17-car heat race here for heat number 3.
This is a big field here tonight for heat race number 3, 17 cars. I mean, at some racetracks across the country and even up here in Canada, that could be a whole feature. That could be your whole division. We're seeing that just in one heat race tonight. They're going to go for 6 more transfer positions here tonight in Kenly, North Carolina. Southern National always puts on a show, especially here with the BFP late model stocks.
Yeah, we part of our plan here was to get some more heat races with more transfer spots to try and get them to calm down a little bit. Last week they had a lot of aggression throughout the heat races, which we didn't really help going into heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, very clean though, as right now Justin Gayu loud pedal down for sure, trying to make the top side work, but we got the 3 car of David Stone hanging tough on the inside, Spence.
Yeah, absolutely. Great battle between the leaders as they head down the back chute, side by side. Justin Glue holding strong there as they drive into turn number 1. Really making that outside work. He's been the only guy to really make it happen so far up there as they're wrecking back in the field.
Big junk out back. It looked as though that was our host, Scott Dinnan, in the 95 car going upside down. But Gayu now up front in the 43, seemingly the only one all night to make the outside line work, getting around the 3 of D3, Dave Stone himself. And Tyler Jordan right in tow behind that 3 car, Jesse.
Stone trying to close in. He's only a couple of car lengths back, or a half a car length back. He's all over the bumper. 43 car. Tyler Jordan there in behind in the Haas car, trying to work his way underneath in the 3rd position. Everybody playing single file so far. I mean, a little bit out back, they are getting a little rowdy, but that's what you're going to get, and what Bobby Timmons would say, big time auto racing, and trying to make the field here tonight.
Jesse, as we're watching this battle, the most important spot is that 6th transfer spot. Scott Dinnan, even though he was involved in that accident there, maybe caused it a little bit, is holding on to that right now. But Daniel Kane is all over his back bumper, looking to the inside here on the exit as they go down the backstretch.
Interesting that you can be involved in a big race shakeup like that and still somehow hang on to a transfer spot. Scott Dinnan certainly doing that right now in the 95 machine as he's rocking that Black Flag Podcast Pontiac Grand Prix trading paint scheme that our camera guy himself for BFP Sports 1 made over on his trading paint scheme. Check out Tom, the modified guy at Fenceline Films on YouTube. And he's also got a pretty neat trading paints page as well, too, where he does a lot of replicas of Tour Modifieds that you'll see all over the Northeast here, and he's also the nice author of the official BFP paint scheme.
Ethan Walker has trouble there working through the corner of the 18 car. He gets a little sideways, but right now he's going to be able to continue on a few spots back out of the transfer spot.
Gayu continues to lead this one. Stone had a nose in there a couple of turns ago. The inside was open for him. Wasn't able to make anything happen. Jordan now in behind in that 4 car, all over the 3 car, trying to put a little neon paint on the Hunt Brothers car.
Things seeming to calm down here just a little bit. Everybody seems to know that they're in a transfer spot. Lap 12 right now, 3 laps to go. Coming up off of turn number 4 for Justin Gayu. Hopefully they're all realizing that they're in a transfer spot now as Tyler Jordan does look to the inside of the 3 car of Dave Stone. They're side by side for the 2nd spot. Now, even though they're in a transfer spot, this will advance your position just a bit for your starting position in the eventual feature race here. But really the battle is going to be out back here between the 6th, 7th, and 8th drivers here, between Scott Dinnan, Chase Rogers, and Ethan Walker now up into the mix.
Scott Dinnan has got that 6th spot fairly well unlocked, but he is struggling getting through the corners. A higher arc in. Chase Rogers is closing. They touch. Scott Dinnan's around. Chase Rogers into the wall. Oh my God, a shakeup here late in the race.
Big race drama here as they just take the checkered flag. It seems as though our transfer positions are going to go to Justin Gayu, Tyler Jordan, Dave Stone, Sean Boudreau, AJ Bernice, and Chase Rogers will be the last one to transfer into the main event through our heat races. Round of applause for Justin Gayu in the 43 machine as he's going to celebrate being the heat race hero here in heat race number 3 as we're going to get ready for the last chance qualifier, boys. So this is going to make for a very long night for whoever gets through in this way.
And before we get into that, we should give our sponsor a big shout out here tonight. Of course, coming on board, Home Track. We know most of the fans listening at home are itching to get out to your local short track or NASCAR affiliated track, whatever you've got, and watch some New England racing. This week's sponsor may not be able to help make you the Thompson Icebreaker come any earlier, but they're going to be able to help scratch that itch. This week is brought to you by Home Track over on YouTube. Home Track follows the O'Brien family race team and their racing adventures. They could be full-time in NEMA and the NEMA Light Series. And for those of you who have seen a NEMA race before, they put on one heck of a show. So if you're looking for something to get you through the next couple of months or next couple of weeks, just until you get to the racetrack, head on over to Home Track Racing on YouTube and enjoy the show.
That's one heck of an ad read, Jesse. Well done, as I just totally threw you into that before the race. So I'm proud of you. So we've got a good LCQ coming your way.
Benjamin Mazer is going to roll off on the pole. Joe Campbell is going to start second. Matthew Brewer, Stephen Piero, Tyler Lehman, Angela Girucci, and Alexander Ettman, Brian Conover, Tyler Conley, John Scott Dinnan, Gabriel Goli, Jason Diero, Cody Billings, Thomas Johnson, Joshua Gardner, Derek McKean, Daniel Palin, TJ Moon, David Bergman, Luke Brown, Matt Franson, Ethan Walker, Trevor Gratham, Brant Young, Chase Rogers, Lucas Hinckley, Josh Hodgson, Jason Townsend, Daniel Riggleben, Glenn Giles, Dan DeSantos, and Randy Cole Jr. are going to round out the 34-car field for the last chance race. Holy smokes.
Last chance qualifier coming your way. Lights are out on the pace car, 2x2. They're going to roll up off at turn number 4, and we are racing. And at the end of this, we're going to get the last 2 drivers into our 100-lap main event.
Makes it easy.
Sorry, a little bit of chaos there in the initial start. That 6 car, he's going to find himself in the wall. It's going to be a parking lot here in Southern National here. On the front stretch, that is absolute. It's
Benjamin Mazer in the 33. He gets involved in it here. Big old mess here in the last chance opportunity to make the show.
One thing seems as though we're being very stingent with the yellows here as well too, trying to get the program underway. I have a 34-car field, like you said, for an LCQ, only taking 2 drivers. So it looks as though people are going to need to mind their P's and Q's here, getting up into the top 2, as it looks as though Joe Campbell and Matthew Brewer are starting to walk away with it.
Matthew Brewer, huge accident. He's been involved in it. He's up in the fence. Big old mess. That's going to give John Miller that second position. And only the top 2 qualify. And right now it's Joe Campbell and John Miller that are going to be your 2 transferring in, with a big old mess ahead of us. There's in between those top 2 and third place Benjamin Mazer.
Like I said, you just got to mind your P's and Q's here for the 25-lap last chance qualifier event. John Miller, Joe Campbell now in a pretty good spot here to try and take it home to the feature. 100 laps are going to be on the docket tonight for the final main feature event. And they're just trying to hold their head above water right now.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of drivers involved in that carnage. I see the 55 pulling down on the pit road. They have elected to put the car back on the hauler and work their way towards the next event in 1 week's time. Probably not making the big show here tonight at Southern National.
Yeah, I mean, as you look down through the field, Jesse, you've only got 7 cars left on the lead lap. It's Joe Campbell, Benjamin Mazer, Tyler Conley, Thomas Johnson, Matt Franson, Lucas Hingley, and Angel Girucci. And, that took out a ton of top-notch competitors there.
Yeah,
one thing you're going to get
be very busy in the canteen area.
Well, one thing you're going to get with this style format is the cream rises to the top, gentlemen. And we already got our fast 10 through the single car qualifying earlier on. We got the 10 fastest drivers here tonight, and then we're going to have the cream rise to the top here in the heat races, where we took 6 from each. And those that didn't make it through any of those and still didn't make it through the LCQ, they're going to be able to watch along with us here on Facebook Live, as right now we're hovering around the 70 watch mark, 70 viewership mark right now. So thank you to each and every one of you over on Facebook Live, tagging along with us here for the Southern National 100 presented by the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Car Series. As right now we got a 2-car breakaway for the LCQ, as Benjamin Mazer now up into the top 2 with Joe Campbell.
Has been on a mission in this last chance race, trying to make his way to the big dance, trying to avoid all the carnage. Cars stopped in the middle of the track, cars upside down, in the bottom groove, top groove, wherever they are, he is threading the needle. And as the field starts to dwindle ever more, all he's focused on is seeing the checkered flag and having a good yet deep starting position into the feature. We got more carnage on the backstretch, one upside down. That was the 31. The 33 car rather, trying to get going once again.
33 car, That's drama. That was one of our transfer spots, Spencer, as I'm sure you're just getting to. Now we have the 41 in the top two.
Yeah, no, huge shakeup there in that accident. The 33 made big contact, and that's going to give the 41 to Thomas Johnson the all-important transfer spot. Thomas Johnson was putting on a ton. Accident unfolded right in front of Benjamin Mazer, and he had nowhere to go. Joe Campbell and Thomas Johnson are the two that are going to make it in, unless Angel J in the number 45 can make up 7 seconds.
That's Angel Warregi, for those keeping track at home. Big friend of the program here at the Black Flag Podcast. And we got some pretty colorful comments here on the Facebook Live feed right now. We understand that this is a bit of a shakeup here for the last chance qualifier. That's why we're not throwing yellows. We don't want to be here all night. We want to put on a good show, and it seems as though we're going to have the top quality 30 drivers here. Hopefully, they don't make me look stupid as they take the green here for the 100-lap main event. 5 to go.
And 100 laps is a long distance here tonight. Of course, trying to finish out this last chance race. They've still got the 100 laps to put on their tires, and Southern National doesn't have a lot of room. You can see, to the mind's eye, it looks like there's a lot of room, but things happen in a hurry, as we've seen through the heat races and the last chance feature here tonight. So the big show could be a little bit messy towards the back of the field. Drivers trying to work their way up towards the front and try and stay with the top dog. So the 41 car looks like he almost got moved out of the way, manages to hold on to it with the Casey Kane-looking number 9 car all over him. I don't believe that is for position.
It sure isn't. The only guy they've got to worry about that's on the same lap as them is Angel Uregi. Did I get that right, Charlie? Man,
Warregi, I believe.
You didn't. It's Warregi, like a W. I'm sure that won't be the last time you mess that up, and that's okay.
That's okay. That's what happens.
What do you expect? You get a drunk announcer from Oxford Plains trying to come up with these names. These are hard. I need Smiths and Childs. I can pronounce those.
Speaking of relatively easy names, we do have Ashley King asking on the Facebook Live feed. Jesse, introduce yourself here again for those coming in late.
Yes, so thank you everybody for tuning in here tonight. My name is Jesse Thompson. Big fan of the show. If you come up north to New Brunswick, come to Speedway 660. You'll get to hear my voice each and every Saturday night, a bunch of times this summer. Big fan of the Black Flag Podcast, and really wanted to put myself into this a little bit more, and glad to be part of this and enjoying the racing here tonight. Of course, BFP Night in America, round number 2.
Yes, round number 2. Indeed, Spencer, take it away.
Oh, so Jesse, I was going to say, it's not just America, it's Canada too. It's BFP Night in North America. We're going freaking global now, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Break out get your beaver tails, get your moose lights, whatever you got. It's an international night.
Jesse, I'm still saying Maine maple syrup's better than Canada's, but anyway, before we get into that debate, I'm going to go through the feature lineup here. Ryan Kuhn is your fast man in Southern National. He's going to start pole. Tyler Wood to his outside. Casey Bietti is going to be rolling off third. Brandon Rusick, fourth. Austin McCurdy and Adam Jocelyn. Dominic Currett, Ryan Borges, Gorgeous Borges, or I think Charlie has another name for him that isn't so polite. Trevor Kraus, Brent Roy, Sean Kimball, and John Peters. Justin Galoo, Matthew Perry, Jack Ellie, Tyler Jordan, Jeffrey Fernandez, Kyle Willis, Stone, Kerry Craner, Jesse
Jacobitis.
Jacobitis, yeah, I don't even know. Sean Bernot, Aiden Murray, Ty Kernan, AJ Bernice, Roger Saucier, Tyler Griffin, Daniel Kane, Joe Campbell, and Thomas Johnson are going to round out your 30-car feature event.
30 cars
in this field. Well, race is all but over then.
30 cars going to take the green here as the pace car ducks up off of turn number 4. 2 by 2, we're going to roll up off of turn number 4, 72. 248, fire it down the loud pedal, and they're going to go into turn
Big
one.
mix-up on the front stretch already. Aiden Murray, the 41, a bunch of guys involved. Big mess there on the front stretch.
Yeah, apparently they didn't learn very much from the LCQ and how that all went down, as they are just wadding some stuff up right now. Is Jizz. Ryan Borges in the 24 getting tied up in that as well.
Yeah, big mess. Ryan Kuhn's going to continue to lead here in this one. He is definitely the man to beat. But there was a big old accident there. Maybe eventually, once we get some of these issues taken care of, we can see a little bit of a replay on that action.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the problem here and the urgency is with a lot of these drivers. Again, folks, that for those watching at home right now, this is iRacing. It is a little bit different than what you see. It is a little bit different than what you see on a typical Saturday night. And from there, basically what we have set up is 2 quick repairs. So if you have something pretty messed up with your car, you're able to duck down to pit road and basically get a brand new car. You get to do that twice throughout the night, and there's also 1 extra set of tires, so a little strategy might come into play later on.
You know, we saw that last time, Charlie. We saw Devin Landry and a lot of guys take tires late, and that is so important with this iRacing model. The tires wear like a real race car, so when you take those tires is so super important, and just staying out of trouble for these first 10, 15, 20 laps is huge to be able to have a race car for the end.
It is kind of mind-boggling how close a lot of these models are that iRacing has with both the car itself, the tracks, and the tire wear as well too. From there, basically you have a real-life simulation, if you will, short of getting the real thing. And it is a tool that a lot of drivers, throughout NASCAR and even a lot of road racing drivers use this as a tool to get ready for tracks and put setups in cars and see what may or may not work. So maybe we can get 660 on here, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 660 actually is available in a couple of different formats. I know it's in the first R Factor game. It's in NASCAR Racing 2003, a couple of different iterations of that. So definitely some way to turn some laps virtually in what we call the Gary Woods back home. But tonight we are in Southern National. Just before we head back to green, just want to check in on the Facebook page.
We're headed green right now, Jesse. Ryan Kuhn's going to dive bomb it down into turn 1. He's going to take the lead away from Casey Beatty. They are stacked up through the field, the back half of the field anyway, as Casey Beatty, Ryan Kuhn, and Brandon Rusick are going to take the lead.
Yeah, it looks as though we got a battle out back now as well, too, between the 60 machine and the 48 and the 5 side by side on the backstretch as the 5 takes a big hit towards the inside wall and might get some things settled out here as the yellow is out one more time.
Trouble for Dominic Currit there in that 5 machine. Tough break for him. He had a really solid run going. Looks like he's going to take it down pit road for one of those fast repairs and get back out and join the field.
Now, a lot like last week, once these drivers start using up those quick repairs, they're going to be kind of left with the cards that they have, where from there, if they wreck their car for a third time, they might be forced to leave, and we might get some clean racing in here, folks, as, again, we got a 100-lap main event here at Southern National Motorsports Park, and round 2 of the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Car Tour.
Just looking at a replay here, looks like the 60 car might have got a little loose in the middle groove through 1 and 2, came off the second turn, and don't want to call it quite a hip check, but, a little bit of a hip check to the 5 car sends him down into the inside wall, hard up the racetrack, and carnage ensues here with the late model stock tour.
Brutal. You've got a lot of racers that do this in the real life that are up front right now. You got Ryan Kuhn, the former Pro All-Star Series North champion. You've got Casey Beatty that he learned Hickory from iRacing and went down and had a great run with his American Canadian Tour car. And then you've got some guys that, promote racetracks and race themselves. There's a guy running in 6th on the field, 5th on the field, 6th on the field, Brent Roy. Do you know anything about him at all, Justin?
Absolutely. He's the boss back home, 3 track championships at Speedway 660, late model sportsman and pro stock competitor. Big into sim racing. Glad to see him out tonight. Car number 26 is going to be stout here tonight. It looks like he's got Flow Racing on the hood, so the 26 car is going to be one to watch. Maybe a little bit biased in that view of things, but can't wait to see what he does here tonight.
Now, it looks like we're going to have a full re-rack here up off of turn number 4. Ryan Kuhn, Casey Beatte fire it down into turn number 1. Single file here, followed by Brandon Rezick and Tyler Wood now. Hopefully, we can get a couple laps in here, get things shaken out. As Spencer, we're trying to put on a show here at Southern National.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Ryan Kuhn is going to try to put some space in between him and the rest of the field. The battle right now is for that 3rd position. Austin McCurdy, Brandon Rusek battling hard. The 60 on the bottom, the 62 on the top, and they're working hard for that 3rd spot right now.
Here comes Tyler Jordan in the 4 machine, too, trying to make it work on the bottom side behind Sean Kimball in the 25. Brent Roy hanging tough in the 26 machine, though, in the GNG's gift. Number 26 with the Flow Racing hood.
Roy is going to have all kinds of pressure to the inside. Jordan in that 4 car. Going to make the door and mirror full of some neon yellow here tonight. He's going to go side by side and continue to battle with Brent Roy in the 26 car.
Up back ahead, Ryan Kuhn is trying to check out. He's got a half a second over Casey Beatte, and Austin McCurdy is back there about another half second after that. The top 2 have got some room, but Austin McCurdy right there in that 4th spot, trying to put some pressure on Ruzick.
Brandon Rezick now finding his way up into the top 3, a go-kart fiend on himself, racing on the same team as Ryan Borges and Mike Perry. For the RPM Motorsports guys, there is now Tyler Jordan again all over the back bumper of the 25 as we got a shake up 60 in the 48. Get into it up off of turn number 4. We got a stack up here with some cars around. It looks as though the yellow's out.
Big shake up. The top 3 are in good shape. Other than that, I think there was maybe 5 cars that made it through and out of those front runners. Big shake up.
And if you look back onto our Facebook live feed here, still hovering with quite a few watchers here, we're going to have a replay of that particular wreck there. As you'll just see the 48 and 60 just kind of tangle a little bit, but it doesn't take much when you're in front of a big stacked up field like that, does it, Spence?
Yeah, 48 definitely gets into the back of him, and then it just mayhem there on back. Other cars go spinning. Everybody's going to check up. Looks like we're going to get another look at that again. The 50 car 60 car rather, is taking a low entry. The 48's trying to go lower, and the 48 kind of just gets into the back of him, and it turns into a mess. John Kimball and a bunch of guys involved. Looks like Johnny Peters involved in that. Big old problem there.
I almost wonder, though, if the 62 was trying to whoa up on the binders there just a little bit. I mean, at a big track, probably wouldn't make much of a difference, but heading down into turn 3 here, 62, from what I see, maybe shuts the door maybe on the 60. 60 has to whoa up a little bit, and 48 nowhere to go on that one, but still looked a little bit rough and tumble here tonight.
Yeah, again, folks, 100-lap main event here is what we're trying to put on. 25 laps are in the books. Yellow flags do count. So these drivers, if they want to get any sort of racing in, they're just going to want to try and get their P's and Q's here. And we're going to have the light out on the pace car here, Spencer, as we got them re-racked.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn has been phenomenal on these restarts. Can he do it again? Ryan Kuhn fires first on the bottom. Casey Beatte, he's going to try on the outside, going to fall back in line as they're 2x2 there on back.
Now, there's a lot to be said for having control of a restart, and I think Ryan Kuhn is the epitome of that right now, as he has full control over the field in that 72 car where he gets to fire first. But don't count out Casey Beatte in that 47 car where he finds that hole almost immediately on the bottom, which prevents Brandon Rezick or Tyler Wood trying to advance their position at all. And then from there gets to just kind of fall in line and try to chase down our race leader, Ryan Kuhn.
And remember, Charlie, last time that we were here, last week, Ryan Kuhn led a ton early. And then as the race went on, he got involved in a couple of incidents, and then he was nowhere to be found in the finishing order. So even though Ryan Kuhn's putting on a show right now, stuff can happen, and it can happen quick here at Southern National.
Yeah, the mirror full of these race cars here tonight, especially for someone like Ryan Kuhn. In the 72, the Massachusetts driver just trying to ease his way into victory lane, but he has got mirrors full of late model stock drivers that are hounding him for the position and ready to make something happen here tonight.
Now, further back in the field here, just a little bit, rounding out our top five, Tyler Jordan on the inside of the 62 machine of Brandon Ruzick, as Ruzick now trying to just hang on the top side there as he's been freight trained just a little bit now. As again, you see some damage to the right front corner of Tyler Jordan in that 4 machine, as we have the same exact setup in every single one of these cars. It's called a fixed setup. So basically, once you load into the server, you know it's going to come down to the driver. But that being said, when you get into contact with other drivers here and you damage that car at all, that does put you at a big disadvantage, knowing that everybody has the same exact setup. And Tyler Jordan hanging tough on the bottom side with a messed up right front fender.
Yeah, it's not something that you see. Brandon Rusick being able to work that outside, that is not the preferred groove here at Southern National, and he's able to basically get that spot away. Not quite clear down to the bottom, but he seems to be making it work a little bit on that top side.
Kuhn down the backstretch and continuing to work his way around this 4/10 mile racetrack as the laps click off. Still closing up on the halfway point of this one. Still a little bit to go until we get to the halfway point, but he hasn't been able to put any distance between himself and the 47. And how about a run for the 48 car involved in that caution? Doesn't seem to be slowing him down any.
No, it certainly doesn't. And things are finally seeming to calm down here just a little bit as we're coming up on lap 40 now, almost 60 to go. But again, the battle right now is between Brandon Ruzick and Tyler Jordan for the 4th position, as Tyler Jordan now looks to the inside of the 62 of Brandon Ruzick. And Ruzick now shows in the bottom, slams the door there in the Get Rowdy number 62 car.
The 62 car of Rusick seems to be having a hard time holding it down coming out of these corners. The bottom is the fastest groove around this racetrack, and Tyler Jordan's being able to use that apron and work his way underneath, forcing Rusick to go to that outside groove. But Tyler just doesn't have quite enough racetrack to be able to complete the pass.
Tyler Jordan, no stranger to real race cars either. He's a former go-kart phenom with myself, as we grew up together at the Beach Ridge Motor Speedway throughout the go-kart ranks there. He eventually moved up to the Legend cars and found some success there before kind of stepping away from motorsports and being more of a helping hand to Donnie Culprit in his 16 super late model car that Donnie runs periodically throughout the years here. Was another big name at Beach Ridge, was Donnie Culprit, winning Sports Series championships and many, many races, and eventually getting up into the Pro Series and finding success there as well too. Is Tyler Jordan just not giving up on the bottom side here at all, giving Brandon Ruzick an absolute fit here coming up off of turn number 4.
Yeah, and that battle has allowed Ryan Kuhn, Casey Beatty, and Tyler Wood to kind of open up a little bit of an advantage there as they still work side by side for that 4th position. Brandon Ruzick, Tyler Jordan battling for that 4th spot, while Jack Ellie and Matthew Perry are right there laying in wait.
One thing I've noticed with this racetrack, if you look at it visually, it's very rough. You know, there's a lot of cuts in the racetrack, a lot of bumps, a lot of different ways you can get around here. But if you look to the top groove, all of the dark spots on the track, that's all marbles. That is tire rubber coming off of the tires of these race cars. And for somebody like Jordan, he's trying to force Ruzick up the racetrack. Maybe not get into him, but force him to run a higher line in the racetrack, take away a little bit of that comfort in the 62 car, and he will continue to hound the rowdy race car. Ruzick trying to hold on, though, on that outside groove as the top 3 drive away into the night.
Yeah, top 3 are absolutely loving what they see in their rear view mirrors there. As again, Tyler Jordan just putting up one heck of a fight with Brandon Ruzick. Now, again, folks, one thing you want to keep in mind is the inside is technically the shortest way around the racetrack. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the fastest, though. As you can see right now, Brandon Ruzick matching time for time with Tyler Jordan here. As Jordan, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he might actually wear out his tires as Ruzick now gets into the wall just a little bit and might be wearing his stuff out on the top side.
Yeah, Ruzick's going to lose that position to Tyler Jordan, and now Jack Ellie is going to try to make a move on Ruzick and move into that 5th position. Tyler Jordan, even with that damaged race car, seems to be moving his way to the front as he's going to try to run down those leaders.
Well, another damaged race car is that Jack Eli machine in the 17 Simijic, whatever that is, Ford Fusion. Again, all over the back bumper, Brandon Ruzick, as Ruzick now seeming to struggle on the top side here as he's trying to hold on to a top 5 position. But Jack Eli now also has his mirror full of Matthew Perry in the 19.
You've got one car with tires that are seemingly going away on the 62 of Ruzick, and you've got Jack Eli in the 17. He's got damage to the front and the side of that race car. The Sim Magic Ford works his way to the inside, and he will go side by side now as the 4 car of Jordan. We got a car up in the wall just ahead in turn number 3. Looks like the 58 and the 53 getting together. Everybody have to get on the binders. Caution flag comes out here at Southern National.
That's not exactly what the top 3 wanted there, Jesse. Ryan Kuhn was getting prepared to just walk away with this one. Opened up nearly a three-quarter of a second lead over Casey Beatty, and they had a second over Tyler Wood, but that's all going to change now as Ryan Borges, Johnny Peters, and a bunch of guys are going to bring their car down to service on pit road.
Yeah, we just had one heck of a green flag run there, but right now you're going to see a ton of cars duck down on the pit road now, as again, every car has one extra set of tires that they can use at their leisure, and at Southern National, tire wear is pretty big. So putting on 4 fresh sneakers is going to give somebody a pretty big advantage, but the toss-up there is you lose a ton of track position as well, too. 40-ish laps are going to be left in the books here once we go green again. So we're going to have a lot of comers and goers right now. As Ruzick stays out, he will be our new race leader, and we're going to have a bunch of fast cars coming from the backside with 4 fresh sticker tires.
Out of all the drivers that I thought would pit and take some tires, I would have thought, Jesse, that Brandon Ruzick would have been the first one to come down and hit pit road.
Yeah, maybe he was, maybe he had a little bit of an ulterior motive. Starting to back off a little bit, letting the top guys go, maybe letting them run out of tires and run out of equipment so he can put himself in prime position, as we see right now. The top dog now with this caution. As we said, only about 40 or so laps to go here at Southern National. Trying to park the Rowdy Energy car in victory lane. Just heading over to the Facebook page, checking in on things. Want to say hello to, I see Robbie Frazier is tuned in. Robbie, a longtime competitor. His father was a longtime competitor up this way in sportsman and pro stock competition. And number 1 Muppets fan, it seems to be. Scott with 1T Fowler. Tune in, liking what he hears in the booth.
Green flag is out, and we are underway here one more time as the 62 Brandon Ruzick's going to fire off pretty good here, but the 17 of Jack Eli is going to hang tough on his quarter panel as Ruzick now clears him going into 3 and 4.
Ruzick's got the spot. Jack Eli is going to try to fight for the bottom, but Matthew Perry in the 19 running right there as well. Tough battle here. Looks like Eli is not going to find his way to the bottom as Perry sucks up to the back bumper of Ruzick.
Ruzick now trying to just defend his track position now as he leaves the bottom open for Matthew Perry. 3 wide going into 1 for the race lead. 19, 62, 17. They hold it tough, and somebody's in the wall.
Matthew Perry and Ruzick, big contact. Matthew Perry's on his lid, and there's all kinds of calamity behind them. That's going to give Jack Ellie the lead, and Jack Eli the lead, and a big mess there for the leaders.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions, and I think we're going to find that here with only about 40 laps to go here in the Southern National 100, presented by the Black Flag Podcast, iLate Model Stock Car Tour, as Ruzick now trying to get his spot back, it looks like, up into the race lead.
I think Ryan Kuhn quite enjoyed what he saw out his windshield. He was back there about 5th or 6th in that RKM Speed Shop car. And the 72 able to sneak by, now up into the runner-up spot. He will be in prime position to challenge for the lead. But I think this one was just close racing, and unfortunately it ended with heavy contact with the 19 of Matthew Perry ending up upside down here at Southern National.
Now, one thing you want to keep an eye out for, too, is Ryan Kuhn was one of those ones that pit earlier on, just a couple of cautions ago. So he has 4 fresh sticker tires on that thing still, and now reassumes the race lead. So it's going to be real tough to get around that RKM Toyota Camry.
It sure is, Charlie, but John Peters in that 09, keep an eye on him as well. He's got tires, and now he's got a chance to look at the front. And we know that GNG gift is a car is pretty quick here on iRacing.
Yeah, GNG's gift is that's a pretty special program Johnny's putting on there. Johnny is a part of an unfortunate club like myself, where we both lost our fathers pretty close in time to each other, and he's trying to live his father's legacy out by this program, GNG's gift, where each and every year through submissions, drivers under the age of 30 put submissions in to try and justify why they should be eligible for a $5,009 sponsorship presented by Johnny himself and the Peters family there. And the name of Grand National Greg, which is what GNG stands for, is we're going to go side by side up off at turn number 2.
I don't know what we got going on here. Looks like we're going back under caution. We're going to wave off that restart here for a minute. Looked like we were getting ready to go, but not so fast, as Ryan Kuhn and John Peters are going to be getting ready to go green flag racing here.
And how about driver number 26 on the outside of row number 2? Keep an eye out for Brent Roy himself. Could be in prime position to end up on the podium here tonight.
Roy and the other GNG gifts lettered up machine there up into the top 5 along with Johnny Peters. But right now the 72 RKM setup shop Toyota Camry fires off better than anybody else, and he's already got a 5-length lead over the field going into 1 and 2.
He sure does, and the battle right now is for that second spot. It's Tyler Wood and John Peters duking it out for second, the runner-up position. Tyler Wood with the preferred groove. John Peters hung out to the outside.
Looks like we had a car spin on the back stretch back there. I believe we're going to stay green now. That will allow Kuhn to extend his lead. Yellow out now, the 25 car. One of the quick cars we saw here tonight, just having a bit of bad luck here late in the going, so caution flag comes back out, but John Peters rolls his way up to the second spot, and a Peters-Kuhn showdown could be in order here tonight at Southern National. It's BFP Night in America, presented by Home Track.
North America, that is, because we got an international show here, folks. We got a 3-man booth here. And apparently 3 track announcers here in the Northeast, Spence.
Yeah, that's right. I get it done at Oxford Plains Speedway. Jesse, of course, is at Speedway 660. And all of a sudden, I didn't hear anything from my good friend Charlie. I have to read on Racing America that you're going to announce 7 races at Lee USA Speedway this year.
A good little selective program that Ben Basowski and myself put together here. He asked if I would join the team, and obviously we got a lot going on with baby coming and all sorts of other stuff. So I picked and chose a couple of races that I thought might work with our schedule, and it's going to be 4 regular shows throughout the season, and then all of Oktoberfest, which we were going to go to already. So together, that's going to be 7 race programs, and we're really excited to be a part of the new Lee USA Speedway team that Ben Basowski, under new management, is going to put one heck of a show together, I feel. Already putting a new general manager in place with John Espernette, who has widely been known as the announcer at Hudson Speedway for quite a while, and I think that he's going to do a real good job in that position, and I'm just excited to be a small part of that team.
So 2 things, Charlie. Is there any pressure going in when you've got a great announcer like John that's going to be listening to you all the time? And second, how are you going to be a part of Pack the Bar if you're in the announcer's booth? What's going on here?
Well, it's there's a bit of a trade-off there, right? So, when you're asked by somebody like Ben Basowski to do something, you take it under good advisement. And, like I said, I wanted to be part of the team. I want to help promote that speedway. It's a place that's been near and dear to my heart for quite a while, and it's been good to me in years past, and I want to be part of its success in the future here. As Ryan Kuhn now hits the loud pedal harder than anybody else, and he is gone going into turn 1 and 2.
Kuhn wasting no time here tonight, trying to get away from the mess that's been in behind him. He has been pretty lucky so far in the 72 car, trying to take the win from North Carolina back home to the Bay State of Massachusetts.
Yeah, yellow flag out here yet again. Lap 77 now is where we're at. We're only going to have about 20 laps to go here in the Black Flag Podcast Southern National 100. As Ryan Kuhn, Johnny Peters now, it's going to come down to a good old Saturday night shootout here with about 20 to go.
Yeah, it looks like 15, I believe. The 15 car was, that rear end was shoved up a little farther than I think he wanted, and it's a bad night for the 15 car. I believe that's the number I saw on the side of that race car.
Yeah, the 15 car, that might be Jason Townsend. No, that's not. I don't know. They get so many trade and paint schemes here, it messes it up when you look at the driver roster. I thought the car behind him was just trying to help out with some rear downforce. Maybe it didn't work quite the way that they planned.
No, and speaking of downforce here, if we look at the 09 machine of Johnny Peters, he is going to be in the second spot still, but he does have some damage now on that left front corner of that 09 G&G's gift machine, as that might come into play here with only a handful of laps left, as Ryan Kuhn is certainly going to be one to beat.
Ryan Kuhn is one of those guys, you need everything perfect to beat him, whether it's in real life or it's on iRacing. Ryan Kuhn is going to have a clean race car. He's always going to be there. And if you have that little bit of a damage, that might be just what it takes to not be able to compete for the win.
Now, is an interesting stat I believe you brought up last week. Ryan Kuhn, your current defending and reigning Pro All-Star Series North Super Late Model champion, hadn't even won a race until last year. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. He picked up his first win at the home track of Seekonk, and then he went on an absolute tear. Ryan Kuhn in that 72 car has been on fire in the super late model ranks, and apparently he can get it done in an iRacing late model as well.
Yes, he can. And that RKM setup shop, that's Ryan Kuhn Motorsports. That's his own little business here of basically he puts together iRacing setups for sale. For anybody who wants to not suck at this, head on over to the RKM setup shop online. And him and his team put together some pretty fast cars for you to be able to just kind of pick and choose and get into some races and be competitive here, as he is just shot out of a cannon one more time.
Ryan Kuhn and Johnny Peters leading him to the restart, and there he is. Ryan Kuhn firing down the front straightaway. He's going to take that top spot away, while Johnny Peters is looking for a hole on the bottom. Looks like he's got it now over Tyler Wood. Tyler Wood's running in that third spot, but he's got pressure from gorgeous Ryan Borges in the number 24.
Here comes Jizz on the inside here in the number 24 machine, as he's got another pretty cool looking RPM paint scheme. That's going to be good for Roe Perry Motorsports, as the 24 of Ryan Borges, go-kart phenom in his own right, wins just about every big go-kart race there is in this part of the country here. Putting a big old fight to Brent Roy in the 26 now, as he now is side by side with the 26 machine.
Remember what I said earlier about green race cars? I rescind all of that. Green race cars are good. It's good luck. Everybody should have green in the race cars. You know, we're seeing that here tonight.
I told you they've always treated me very, very well, as throughout my years I've had a lot of shamrocks and things like that, as it looks as though the yellow's out, but we might be just trying to catch the pace car here.
Yellow, not a good color, except when you're wearing it. You look pretty good. But if you're in a race car, maybe you don't want to see that.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly what happened. Hopefully we can get a replay on that, but I can see the 38 car of Sean Bordeaux has got absolutely no nose left on that race car. So whatever happened, that Black Flag Pontiac is missing a nose, and looks like there was a little bit of trouble there in the middle back half of the lead lap.
Yeah, and it looks like we're coming up on lap It looks as though we're coming up on lap 90 here, so we're only going to have about a 10-lap shootout here to decide our winner for week number 2 of the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Tour here at Southern National Speedway. And so far, folks, I might be a little bit biased, but I think we put on one heck of a show here with some good long green flag runs.
Yeah, you're watching this replay right now on the on Facebook Live. Looks like the 4 car, that Red Bull Racing scheme, and the 43 of Justin Galoo made a little bit of contact, and that's the reason for this caution here by the looks of it.
The boys, before we close things out here tonight, in the next couple laps, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsor, who's been very gracious to come on board here tonight. We know most of you listening at home are itching to get out to your local racetrack and watch some New England racing. And tonight's race may not be able to make the icebreaker at Thompson come any earlier, but they're going to be able to scratch that itch. This week, it is brought to you by Home Track over on YouTube. Home Track follows the O'Brien family race team and their racing adventures, and they compete full-time in the NEMA and NEMA Light Series, so a busy summer for them this year. And for those of you that have seen a NEMA race, they put on one heck of a show. So, if you're looking for something to get to through the next couple of weeks or months until the racetracks open up again, head on over to youtube.com/hometrackracing and enjoy the show.
The O'Briens are a very, very nice family who support local short track racing here. As again, Ryan Kuhn just shot out of a cannon in that 72 machine. Battle right now is for second between Tyler Wood and Johnny Peters. Spencer, we're coming up on almost 5 to go.
Yeah, and there's an absolute mess through the rest of the field, but that battle right now, Johnny Peters and Tyler Wood working hard for that second spot, and looks like there's another caution that's going to come out on the field here, I do believe.
Ryan Kuhn going to have ice water running through his veins right now as he's holding everybody off on these restarts. Very Tyler Reddick-esque of him right now after that COTA victory that he just pulled off. Ryan Kuhn going to have to survive at least one more restart, Jesse.
Yeah, at least one more restart. Probably a couple more. Seeing some chat here from our stream. Looks like that 43 car a little bit fired up with some of the competition that he's had to race with here tonight. So that's going to happen when you get here to Southern National. A lot of cars, 30 race cars started this event, and the field has absolutely dwindled here tonight. And it looks like the caution was Matthew Perry going for a spin cycle, and he's not going to have a very good night when it comes to the end of this one.
Yeah, it looks like just 14 cars left on the lead lap here. So a lot of guys had some serious trouble and are going to have to try again here next week. Now you just hope that it's the old actor Tom Curley deal where if it's not your day, it's not your day, and you let these leaders go and race it out for the win.
Yeah, we're going to have a good old-fashioned green-white checkered here, I believe, as Ryan Kuhn, Tyler Wood, Johnny Peters, Ryan Borges, and Casey Beatty now our new top 5, as anything can happen here, folks. Ryan Kuhn has been absolutely dominant here throughout the Southern National 100, presented by the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Car Tour. But you can't count out anybody now, as anybody can do anything at any point in time, taking the green flag and just barrel it off into turn 1.
A guy that we haven't talked about. He qualified his way into the top 10. And he's a good friend of mine, done a lot of videos with 83 Media and Recording. Adam Jocelyn all of a sudden has worked his way up into that 6th place position. And if there is some mayhem on this restart, might find himself in the winner's circle when it's all said and done.
Mr. Where did he come from? Adam Jocelyn up into the 6th spot. Sneaky good pick right now. Certainly a wild card in this one. He's no one to sneeze at when it comes to the iRacing deal here. As it looks as though we're going to re-rack the field at least one more time. 2x2 off of 4. Green flag is out, and Ryan Kuhn down into turn 1.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn and Tyler Wood this time are going to lead him down into turn 1. Kuhn has got the advantage, and Wood is up the racetrack. Can Johnny Peters fill the hole? Johnny Peters working there on the bottom. Can't quite make it happen with Wood. And they're side by side from 4th on back.
Coming up off of turn number 3 and 4, Ryan Kuhn, who's dominated all day, fell back after a pit stop. He's going to cross the line as your Southern National 100 winner here for week number 2 of the Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Car Tour.
What an absolute show we have seen here at Southern National Motorsports Park. 30 cars taking the green flag, a whole host of others trying to even make the field, and we end up with about 14 cars left to go, and the only one that matters is the Massachusetts driver. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ryan Kuhn.
And I'm going to go try and get some of these drivers up into our chat here and see what I can do. I'll be right back.
So your top 5, Ryan Kuhn's going to get the win. Tyler Wood's going to run second. John Peters is going to run third. We'll hopefully have all 3 of those with us here. Casey Bietti is going to come home in the 4th spot, and Ryan gorgeous Ryan Borges is going to come home 5th. That is his 2nd consecutive top 5 here on the iLate Model Black Flag Podcast Racing Series. He is the only driver to finish top 5 in both races so far this season.
Well, folks, I don't know that we have any of the top 3 in our Discord channel here, so we'll just have to wrap it up here on our own. Again, top 3 putting on one heck of a show. Ryan Kuhn in that 72 RKM Toyota Camry put on a good old-fashioned dick stomping, boys, is what we call it here at the Black Flag Podcast. He pitted early on, got some tires, fell back throughout the field, carved his way back up through. And then Johnny Peters in that 09 machine, he was there all day, couldn't quite pull it off there at the end for the victory. And then the 48 rounding out our top 3. Take us home, Spencer.
On behalf of the Black Flag Podcast, Jesse Thompson, Charlie Sanborn, and myself, Spencer Morris, we thank you for joining us here at Southern National in the virtual iRacing Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Racing Series. We're going to be back here every single Tuesday night for the foreseeable future. We've got big Triple Crown races coming up, and we super want to thank Home Tracks for their sponsorship on this. I guess that's all I've got, so I'll just see you next Tuesday.